involved was Israel in the assassination of Qasem Soleimani, more than we may have thought. The Iranian general has long been known as one of the biggest terrorists in the Middle East, and when he was killed in a U.S. airstrike, Israel certainly didn't mourn. Still, Israeli officials say they didn't want to get involved. We weren't directly involved in the killing of General Soleimani, so why bring us into war? The problem is that it turns out that's not entirely true. According to NBC News, Israeli intelligence was key to the success of the assassination. Soleimani, as the head of Iran's IRGC Quds force, was responsible for so-called unconventional warfare abroad, like arming and conducting terrorist proxies like Hezbollah, Hamas, and the Houthis. And he was killed with his convoy after flying from Damascus to Baghdad, along with several other important pro-Iran officials. But how did the U.S. know exactly where to target the drone strike? Well, NBC now claims that informants in Damascus reported to the CIA, which played 3, 2, 1. Well, NBC now claims that informants in Damascus reported to the CIA which plane Soleimani was on, and Israeli intelligence confirmed and verified the intel. In fact, the New York Times suggests Prime Minister Netanyahu was the only U.S. ally to know about the attack before it happened. He and U.S. Secretary of State Pompeo spoke just ahead of the strike. 82 Iranians, 63 Canadians, 11 Ukrainians, 10 Swedes, 4 Afghans, 3 Germans, and 3 Brits. 176 civilians died in tragedy on Ukrainian Airlines International Flight 752, just minutes after takeoff in Tehran when Iran fired a rocket at the passenger jet. Adding insult to the injury, Iran then lied about it. For days, regime officials withheld the black boxes of the flight as the families of the victims anguished over their loved ones' last moments. And now, finally, after independent investigation, Iran has come out with the truth. The Islamic Nation of Iran fired a rocket on the jet. Well, as a result, thousands have taken to the streets in Iran and around the world to mourn the victims and to call for Khamenei's resignation. Some even chant death to the dictator. Meanwhile, other Western powers are now also blasting Iran, especially Ukraine, which suggests that Iran never would have told the truth had Ukrainian investigators not been allowed access. EU aviation authorities are now diverting all traffic around Iran until further notice. Nightmares, anxiety. That's what Australian woman Dasi Ehrlich told her therapist she was experiencing, all because of what had happened to her at the Adas Israel ultra-Orthodox school in Melbourne. She is one of many young women who say they were sexually abused by Malka Leifer, their former headmistress at the school. And now, Leifer is going to be going to trial for 74 charges of sex abuse. In 2000, Malka Leifer left Israel to go and work at the ultra-Orthodox school in Melbourne. And then 8 years later, allegations of sex abuse against her began to come to light. Members of the school board decided to buy Leifer a ticket back to Israel so that she could avoid being charged. But in 2014, she was arrested in Israel after Australia filed for her extradition. The mother of 8 was soon deemed mentally unfit to stand trial, and a Jerusalem court suspended the proceedings. But in 2018, video footage appeared of the former headmistress leading a so-called fully functional life, leading her to be rearrested. Now, a court-ordered psychiatric panel has finally deemed Leifer as fit to stand trial, and is even accusing her of faking mental illness to avoid extradition. The Jerusalem District Court still has to convene and accept the psychiatric decision on Tuesday, and then decide whether Leifer can be extradited. The case has strained relations between Israel and Australia, but this latest development may ease tensions.